Is mono red dominating your Friday night magic? Sorry. But if you are looking to apply some burn cream while still living the dream, then have I got a deck for you. Beat the heat with the hero of Mono White and Odric's Might. Mono White Lunarch is an aggressive mid-range list that uses the ability of Odric to grant a plethora of powers to your army. Even without Odric, this deck runs aggressive value that opponents need to answer fast or get run over by. Best of all, the deck is only about $50. So if red is the color you dread and you're looking to get back into Standard and Friday Night Magic, then Mono White might just be the deck for you. Let's take a look. Obviously, Odric Lunar Marshal is the namesake of this deck, and with good reason. Odric, who is a 3/3 with, wait for it, at the beginning of each combat, creatures you control gain first strike until end of turn. If a creature you control has first strike, the same is true for flying, death touch, double strike, haste, hexproof, indestructible, lifelink, menace, reach, skulk, trample, and vigilance. So the goal here is simple. Run as many high-value creatures in white that offer high-priority abilities like lifelink and flying, or even better, multiples of those, and curve into Odric to make an overpowered army. In addition to Odric, we're also running Oketra the True, who lets Odric give our troops double strike and indestructible when they attack. Oketra herself can't attack unless you control at least 3 other creatures, but with this deck, that's easy to accomplish, especially when Oketra can create 1/1 soldiers with vigilance that will gain extra goodness from Odric. Good kitty, nice kitty. We're in white, so we're running a playset of Inspector Thraben, chasing clues and giving value. A great 1-drop in her own right, with Odric's power-ups and a few always watching in play, she can become tough enough to have to keep answering too. We've also got a full play set of what is quite possibly the best 2-drop in white right now, Glory-Bound Initiate, who can be exerted to become a 4/4 lifelink swinging in as early as turn 3. And remember, with those always watchings, exerting is not going to have any drawback. Also at 2 is Lone Rider, who, despite the name, we are running a playset of. Our goal with Lone Rider is obviously to transform it, making it from a 1/1 knight with first strike and lifelink into a 4/4 with first strike, lifelink, and trample. Even without transforming it, being able to bestow the first strike and lifelink to our other creatures with Odric late game is really handy, and also what might help transform it after swinging in. It's a beautiful ecosystem. Continuing on along the mana curve are 2 amazing 3-drops. Highly underrated and underpriced Aethersphere Harvesters we run a full playset of, as well as Aerial Responders, additional lifelinkers for the cause. Well, Harvester does need energy to get lifelink, but a 3/5 vehicle with flying, with a lowly crew cost of only 1, is not bad by itself, but when it comes into play you gain 2 energy, and you can spend 1 energy to give it lifelink until end of turn. Meanwhile, Aerial Responder, otherwise known as Vampire Whitehawk, is 1 and 2 white for a 2/3 flying, vigilance, lifelink. What more do you need? We're running a pair of Angel of Condemnation, a 3/3 flyer with vigilance. Obviously benefited by Odric and company, Angel of Condemnation has a few nice perks of her own, namely the ability to exert and tap to exile another target creature for as long as she is on the battlefield. Note that she can do this multiple times. She can also blink a creature, nice for extra energy from our harvesters, saving a blocker, maybe creating another clue, or just messing with our opponent's creatures. Many players are probably already commenting that I should be running a pair of Gazella in her place. And hey, go experiment, people. Playtest, knock yourselves out. Gazella's a great card, and maybe you'll have better luck with her than I did. But I really found trading that first strike and 1 extra power for Angel's Blink and Exile effects to be just the extra trickiness this deck needed to march to success. The deck also runs Always Watching, which gives non-creature tokens +1/+1 in Vigilance. Great with just about anything we're going to cast, but especially early game when paired with Glory-Bound Initiates. For removal, we run a pair each of Cast Out and Stasis Snare. This is just enough to help us stabilize and come online, and for decks that need more removal, there's options in the sideboard that I'll get to in a moment. But first, let's talk mana, because that's the big bucks here. The deck runs, oh no wait, just 20 planes. Oh, and 4 Desert of True for cycling. That's it. Eat your heart out, everyone else except mono red. Okay, so Sideboard as always is meta dependent. For artifact or enchantment heavy opponents, Fragmentize is a must, where for only 1 white we can destroy target artifact or enchantment with converted mana cost 4 or less. The Sideboard is running Dusk to Dawn as a great way to knock off our opponent's overwhelming creatures while leaving our smaller ones from Angel to respond or intact. Obviously this isn't going to work with some always watchings in play, but a lot of the time this lets us board wipe our opponent, keeping most of our force in play. And when that happens, it's going to be hard for them to recover. Overall great removal that we also pack in the side is Fumigate, a board wipe that's going to knock us up more than a few notches in life. In case removal is not what we're after and having some more troops to play is, then Sunscourge Champion is the pick, as it helps us with life gain, especially when there's a few always watchings in play. Additional copies of Cast Out and Stasis Snare are run as needed. I like to include 2 and 1 respectively, but of course you can tweak this as you see fit. Gideon's Intervention is much better to run than Gideon himself. I'd rather have Intervention for getting rid of key threats that we might not otherwise have answers for. Altogether, this deck is powerful, synergistic, and a great answer to mono red. It's also just a lot of fun to pilot to a win. But at about $50, it's not for everyone. And if you'd rather spend about $10 to just sit down and play Magic, not at an official tournament in the game store, but just around the kitchen table with friends, then there's no better deal than a battle deck from Card Kingdom, sponsor of this channel. Battle decks are complete 60-card decks based on popular draft archetypes. They're made and designed and balanced for playing against each other. Browse the selection, pick what you like, and get some great casual games of Magic. These are engineered for fun and for play, and at only $9.99 with shipping worldwide, it's hard to go wrong. Just follow this channel's affiliate link below to www.cardkingdom.com/TCC, and you can see if there's any decks there for you. I hope very much this video has been of some use to you. You can help me out by remembering to like, share, subscribe, or just by leaving a message. What format and deck would you like to see a tech on next? Let me know in the comments below. And this program was made possible thanks to a sponsorship from Card Kingdom, as well as the Patreon support of viewers such as you. So thank you.